All right, everybody, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch. Good to have you back with us. I got a dilemma today, and I think we're gonna try a different solution to a common problem that I'm sure people on ranches know about, and that's how to deal with your grass in your yard, right? What do you do to mow it? And I don't have a small scale mower. The only thing I've got is that guy, and in fact, I am not gonna use him to mow my yard. I've got a different approach and a different idea. So anyway, stick with us. We got a lot to do today, actually. I'm gonna explain this all to you, and well, let's see where today goes. I've been busy this last week or so trying to get everything set up and been planting seed. We've got all of pasture 7 planted. That pasture actually really does look pretty good. It's probably not super thick, but of course, like all things, they look good from a distance, right? So anyway, grass is growing pretty nicely over here. Pasture 6, I'm about halfway done planting it on the top side. I still do have to do on the bottom side. But there's been some developments on this, and I thought I'd share it with you. So, the idea was we got 8 bags of seed. We're gonna be planting all of this stuff. And when I bought the seed, I was quoted a price that was $100 a bag lower than what they charged me. So I called them up and I said, hey, there's a $100 difference here. What's going on? And they said, oops, yeah, I can't imagine I quoted you a lower price, blah, 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 all that stuff. So we're still paying the high price. And so I said, well, if I don't use all the seed, can I at least bring the seed back that I don't use and just get a refund for it? And the guy's like, well, yeah, I mean, we could do that. I said, okay. So when I'm looking at all this stuff that we're planting over here, I said to myself, I'm like, well, tell you what, the stuff on the bottom of 6 has a lot of that weed and everything else. Maybe it'd be better to try and kill all that weed and then plant, as opposed to doing it now. And besides, that's like $1,800 to $2,000 sitting right there if I took 3 bags back. So I was like, all right, let's take 3 bags back. Call them up on the phone. Hey, just want to make sure we're gonna be bringing this by. And they said, oh no, we can't take that stuff back. It's like you just bought groceries. You just can't take that stuff back legally. So back again, I'm stuck with these extra bags. So my schedule changes. We're gonna be doing a lot more planting. And we're just gonna have to expand what we're doing. So I'm gonna do everything over here. I'm gonna get that done, maybe do some tonight if I have time. But while I have the mower hooked up from stuff that we're doing fencing this other weekend, I'm gonna mow a different section of pasture. And this is the pasture we're gonna be mowing. So this is about, I think, a 2 to 3 acre pasture spot, grass spot, whatever you want to call it. It's right up here by our lakes. We have a lake that's sitting over there off the cliff through the trees. Another lake, kind of call them ponds. So we have 2 little ponds. They do dry up. They're not like spring fed or anything like this. So they're just kind of catchment ponds. Anyway, this spot is obviously pretty barren. It's not looking super, super great. But if I've got a bunch of seed, I'm going to plant this. So I'm going to take the mower right now. I'm going to go through and mow this down and prep for when I then take off the mower and I can put the seeder back on. I'm going to do pasture 6, and then I can also plant this. This goes all the way up around the road to the big, big tree sitting way, way over there. So it's actually quite a big distance, big kind of pasture area, but it'll be good to get this done. So first step today, let's go ahead and get some of this mowing, and then I can tell you about my dilemma about the lawn and how do we mow our lawn, not with a mower. It's actually interesting. You should really stick with us, guys. Oh, the pigeons are still here. Pigeons are still here, nesting away. They're all in this insulation up here, guys. So I have a friend who might be trapping some of them. I'm still in process of shooting them, but they seem to never end. All right, tractor time. Let's get mowing this stuff, and I'll bring you along. All right, everyone, for context purposes, this is pen B. This is what I seeded just last episode or something like that. Anyway, no grass seed is popping up yet. Obviously, it could probably take 3 weeks or so, so it's gonna be a little bit. We've been having some good rains, but it's just not happening yet. So this is the compound up here. Pen C is just right over here to our left. And This is the area right in front before you get to the pond and the pond. So let's just wrap this sucker up real quick. It shouldn't take too long, I hope, and should be good. Always looks better when it's mowed. Always looks better. All right, stage 2. I mowed part of this 2 stripes this last weekend, so I've only got like half of it left. But it gets all hairy down by that big tree. From sitting there on the sidelines, it probably looks really easy, but I'm going to show you what I have to go through. It's not super friendly. I got assaulted out there. All right. I told you before that's crazy over here. We got a lot of tall things and some pine trees got a little too close. Here. Tree's right there. You're gonna miss it. Got it reverse a couple times, man. Now this tree has always been a scary tree to me, man. It's got some big old branches and it's hollowed out. Am I gonna clear this? Well, the sun's going down, and just like that, we're disconnected. Next stage, is the mowing of our yard and figuring out how we're gonna do that. I'm actually not gonna get to the seeding today, probably. The sun is going down pretty well. Let's get these forks, and I'll tell you what forks have to do with mowing my yard. So this is the issue. Here we've got a bunch of grass that's kind of growing, right? And this is actually all over the place. And up here at the house, we've got some right in front between the garage and the house. We've got some over around the side of the house. We've got some that's up here. And even ultimately, we have some back over here. Now I could just take my mower and go back in here and try and go over this, but I thought, why bother trying to mow this? Let's put it to some good use. And so my idea is, let's go take the buffalo and have them mow all of this for us. Now you may be asking, Jeff, why are you doing that? Isn't there a risk? Well, there is, but we've actually, excuse me, cordoned off this entire place, this central compound. So there's only 3 ins and 3 outs. Well, once this gate down here is all blocked off. So the idea was, why don't we have them, why don't we block everything off and then let the buffalo go eat it? So you might be saying, Jeff, that's a pretty big risk. Why bother doing it? And part of it is if you look at the grass that's actually still left here is actually pretty small. And what I don't want to have happen is that the buffalo start getting a little bit behind the 8 ball and a little bit slow in responding, right? So if they start going downhill, it'll take a little bit for me to see it in their conformation. They'll start going downhill, and then I'll have to put in a bunch of extra effort and supplements or whatever else to kind of get them back up. I don't want to get that dip. So with grass looking the way it is, they have done an amazing job going through this. I figure we've got all that stuff up by the house. Why not let them just go ahead and partake of it? So that's the plan. So really, this is how the property is set up. The compound is a square. On the north side, there's a central gate that goes down the main road. That is fenced along the north side. That's where I just mowed. We can block that off with one of our portable panels. The next spot is over by the 2.5 acres on the north side and south side. We can block that off. So then the only other area left is actually right here. So what we just do is open up this gate, block it off over here, throw another portable panel in here, and let the animals come out here. There is a risk with some of this, and we are mindful of the calves. We have 15 calves now, and they're all doing really, really well. One of the risks that we've got is water, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this pasture open. They'll have water continually to here. They'll be just up on this hill over here, so they shouldn't be too far away from it. They should remember where it's at. Shouldn't be too hard. Then the second thing is calves and new moms. What if we open up this gate and we left it open and then closed it behind them? The moms would get stuck in here and everything else, and then you kind of split the herd. That's partly, again, why we're gonna leave it open. Anybody who's in there that's maybe giving birth or separate from the herd, they don't all have to come out at one time. So they can come and go as they please. The idea will be to leave them up here for about a day, maybe 2 days. We'll just see how they're doing and see how they're going with it. But what I have to do before I open this, and before Bartok gets his wish, I've got to go close off those entrances. So I'm gonna go get that taken care of. I really want to keep these trees, but they're going to be in the way for any time we ever do this in the future. So I may actually be cutting these things down. I don't want to though. Ugh. Now we have locked them out of pasture 7, so they can't come in. We're going to save that. Ideally, after they get through this little section, we're going to move them over to the 2.5 acres, which has gobs of grass. If you remember when I was planting in that last episode, tons of grass. So by the time we work this little area in the compound, we go over the 2.5 acres, we'll have plenty of grass to mow and eat and do everything. And in the meantime, I then don't have to spend my time mowing everything up by the house. Now there is a gap that's in that 2.5 acres. That's for a future feed pen, a fence line feeder. We'll just close it off with an old gate. Such a pretty mowed field. Well, we've got one gate left, and before I close this one off, I gotta remember to go get my truck and park it on the other side. Otherwise, I'm gonna be blocked out. The long haul. My face is itching, actually. Hope I didn't get poison ivy from that tree back there. That's totally gonna suck. All right, now we can close her off. All right, let's go get one last gate and get down there and open her up. Hi, guys. You already got your treats tonight, guys. It's time to treat the main herd. All right, now I'm not gonna go in and count everybody to make sure that they're all here or not. I'm just gonna trust that they are, or because the gate's open, they're gonna be just fine coming out. So I'm gonna set up this gray gate right over here, get that thing all squared up. Our property line is actually just the barbed wire right on the other side of this pine tree, another 4 feet or so. So a 10-foot gate should help extend it from this guy. We should be fine. Once I get this all open, they're gonna start coming in. So remember, Jeff, gray gate first. Come on. I know. Come on. All right, I'm gonna pull through, Debbie, and then that way you can have an exit and I can drive forward. Let's see if we can get all the others to come out too. Debbie understands. We need Bartok. Come on down from the hill, Bartok. Like I said before, guys, we have 15 babies. We should have potentially 4 more, but we're not really sure Stephanie's pregnant, so we're just banking probably 3 more to get to a total of 18 calves. I'm hoping I'm not pushing them. I want to get around in front of them and head them off. Now, they haven't been eating their hay very much, so I don't think they're starving too bad. But like I said before earlier in the video, I just want to make sure that they don't start going downhill. And so I want to try and get in front of it and give them some extra green grass while we can, and then cycle them through. That'll also give me time to mow all of this area and get it all kind of back down again before they come back through. All right, now let's see if we can get some people up there for Debbie. Kisses, where's your calf? Where's your calf, Kisses? There's your calf, Kisses. Debbie's already eating down here. She knows what's going on. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the gate open and they will still have water to their water trough. And eventually I think they'll get the idea when they check it out. But right now they're not really too interested, and I'm not gonna go chase them. I think we're gonna leave it here. I wanted to get some video of them actually getting the grass and eating it and going up the alley, but it looks like Debbie's the only one who's got catching on. So next video, we'll show you kind of how it's been doing. And this is a great way to mow our front lawn, letting the buffalo do it. And that's why we fenced everything in way back when, guys. Remember that. That's why we did, because we wanted to have this option here. All of those openings are within the size of a panel, a portable panel. So everything should be good. We'll check on them every day and keep you updated. Until next time, guys, catch you later at Blackacre Ranch. Bye.